Here we are, the Final Four, which no one calls it except me, but I like saying it because I like to emphasize that there are only 4 teams left. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN channel, and we're going to preview the Eastern and Western Conference Final in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Now, first, you might be wondering, Steve, didn't you already do this with Adam and Jesse? And the answer is yes, but I don't have them to pressure me this time. I could say whatever I want. I could yell as loud as I want because this is my house. That, and I don't have to listen to their annoying facts. I can just go off of what I think, and what I think is your favorite team sucks. No, seriously, let's talk about it. Let's start in the West. The Edmonton Oilers, who beat the Vancouver Canucks in 7, taking on the Dallas Stars, who beat the Colorado Avalanche and made producer Drew cry. Let's play a fun game. You want to know who leads the playoffs in scoring? It's Leon Draisaitl with 24 points. He plays for the Oilers. You want to know who's second in scoring? It's Connor McDavid. He has 21 points. He plays for the Oilers. You want to know who's third in scoring? It's Evan Bouchard. He has 20 points. He plays for the Oilers. He also plays defense. Want to know who's fourth in NHL scoring? It's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He has 16 points. He plays for the Oilers. The Oilers have all 4 of the top scorers in these playoffs, and that's stupid. Meanwhile, you want to know who leads the Dallas Stars in scoring? Miro Heiskanen with 13 points. The highest scoring forward is Jason Robertson with 12. The Edmonton Oilers, top heavy, but the top is heavy. Did you notice that I didn't even mention Zach Hyman in that group? Because he's not there. All he does is score goals. Assists, I think he found out every assist you get is a goal taken away. Meanwhile, the Dallas Stars do it by committee. Everyone is there. Everyone is a threat. Who do you even cover? Who do you target? Well, if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I know exactly who I'm targeting. Miro Heiskanen. Anyone is going to get the tough assignments on the Dallas Stars. If anyone is going to be able to even sort of pull off the Herculean task of shadowing Connor McDavid and his band of merry men, it is going to be Miro Heiskanen. Early in the series, I think it's going into Miro's corner, and I think they're going to hammer him, and they're going to hammer him, and they're going to hammer him again. Because remember, interference is a hit that is after 0.8 seconds after the puck is gone, except in the playoffs when it's closer to 1 and then you're in the third round. So it's probably, I don't know, like what, 3 or 4 seconds? Minutes? Is it minutes? You can just hit anyone whenever you want. Heading into the series, there's an interesting narrative that Connor McDavid has been kind of quiet. And I think that's psychotic on account of he has 21 points. Here's the other thing though. He has been. Like the Edmonton Oilers basically tore the LA Kings limb from limb. But ever since, he doesn't even look like the best player on the Oilers. He's looked really good. We all know he's looked really good. I think Connor McDavid at his worst looks really good. I think if he never rehabbed that knee, he'd still probably put up 75 points a season. But he's settling into this interesting role almost as Leon Draisaitl's Robin, because Draisaitl's clearly Batman. Like no one is able to stop that guy. Now, here's what's going to be a big change for the Edmonton Oilers. In round 1, they got Cam Talbot, who was an all-star this year, but he's Cam Talbot, and he's kind of up there. They even had a couple games against Dave Riddick. Dave Riddick. Big save, Dave. That one. Then who did they get for all of the second round? Artur Shilovs, who again was fine. Dude, you're getting Jake Ottinger. Not just Jake Ottinger, a Jake Ottinger who is dialed. All playoff long, he's been giving you between 915 and 920 save percentage goaltending. He's absolutely huge, and he's a regular NHL goaltender, which the Edmonton Oilers haven't always played in the first 2 rounds of this series. First 2 rounds of these playoffs. One narrative that I think is going to affect how people look at this series is kind of unfair. It's the matchups that these teams have gotten so far. Edmonton, LA, they dismantled them, and LA wasn't a strong team heading into the playoffs. Then the Canucks, who were good. They were good, but in Game 7, no Besser. It's their third goalie. Dallas, right off the hop, goes down 0-2 to Vegas and storms back to win in 7. Then you got to find a way to beat the Colorado frickin' Avalanche, who were able to basically erase any lead. For that reason, I think a lot of people who maybe a couple of weeks ago would have said Dallas is going to walk away with this series have leaned more towards the Oilers, more towards this being a 50-50 series. And I hate to say it, I think I'm one of them. Ultimately, end of the day, I think this deep into the playoffs, depth wins. The Oilers have been really impressive. I think they're going to constantly try to drag the Dallas Stars into the muck. There's going to be a lot of stuff after the whistle, and it's not going to be a fun series for anyone involved. I don't know what I said yesterday. I don't care what I said yesterday. I'm going to say the Dallas Stars, who I predicted would win the Stanley Cup before the playoffs even began, in 6. How does that line up with what I said yesterday? I don't know. I already forgot. Doesn't matter. Vibes. Now, the Eastern Conference Final, the New York Rangers taking on the Florida Panthers. This is another one where I'm having a real tough time because I had the Rangers winning the Eastern Conference. I think I might have even, this might be, I might have the whole Final Four. I'm a genius. No one confirmed that. Just let me say it. You know what? I was right. This is the part where you go, wow, he was right. This series is so fun. And bless the New York Rangers. Okay, they had to survive the first round with the Washington Capitals. And you might be like, Steve, what do you mean survive? They swept them. No, I mean survive in that there's a certain intensity that comes with playoff hockey, and that series lacked it on account of the matchup was so cartoonishly in the Rangers' favor. But then they have to go from that to the Carolina Hurricanes, which are ridiculous. Every game with them is a marathon. You could argue that they outplayed the New York Rangers. They certainly outshot them a lot of the time, but 3-0 hole. Yes, the Hurricanes did plant that little seed of doubt by winning game 4 and then winning game 5. And oh my gosh, it took until game 6 for the Rangers to eliminate them. But Fast and the Furious rules. You didn't almost have me. You win or you don't. There is no almost winner banner. Well, I guess that would be the conference final banner, which the winner of this series will get. You even get a trophy for almost winning. The Rangers remind me a little bit of the Dallas Stars, but I think the key difference is the Rangers are probably a little more experienced, even though the Stars have a few older guys. They're a very young team. The Rangers are faster. They have more top-end skill, and they are deep. They're just not as deep as the Dallas Stars are. The Florida Panthers, on the other hand, lack some of the high-end talent that the Oilers have. I mean, everyone lacks the high-end talent that the Oilers have because of Draisaitl and McDavid, etc. But they have some really good players. I think what sets the Panthers apart is they're not heavy. It's not that they're heavy. It's not that they're tough. It's that they're violent. They literally flew into a punch in Brad Marchand's face and got nothing. I keep talking about Matt Rempe being a factor in this series, and I think he has to be, even though he didn't play a ton in the Carolina series. You don't want to break that fourth line up. Jesse was talking about that. Here's the thing. The Florida Panthers are not the Carolina Hurricanes. If you prepare for the Florida Panthers as if they're the Carolina Hurricanes, they'll kill you. And on top of that, the Panthers maintain their same level of intensity, same level of violence from last season, but straight up, they're a way better hockey team than they were last year. They're so good. Yesterday on the podcast, I went against my favorite person, myself, and I said that the Panthers would beat the Rangers. I'm going to rescind it. Nope, I'm taking I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. I'm going to go with my initial I'm taking it back. I'm going to go with my initial I'm going to go with my initial thing. I'm going to go with my initial cup final. The Dallas Stars take on the New York Rangers, who will beat the Florida Panthers in will they beat the Florida? They're going to beat the Florida Panthers in 7. That was hard. So, what do you think if you're so smart? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends what I said. Unless it ends up being wrong, then don't.